Okay, we are live. So, hey, everybody, it is National Sales Director Diane Mentiply, and I am just going to give you a little something before we get started with our pace setters tonight. And I'm just super excited for tonight's Rise and Thrive pace setters. But we need to talk for a second about what happened last night in Houston, Texas. And yes, I am wearing my Patriots attire, and oh my goodness. You guys, I was so excited last night that I literally gave myself a migraine this morning when I woke up. Like literally, I was so tense and excited about the Patriots game last night against the Atlanta Falcons. And, was I sick this morning? Yeah. But was it worth it? Yes. And I want to talk to you about that for a second because it is exactly what success is all about. Now, first, let me say, if you are an Atlanta Falcons fan, I say to you, well done. Well done, because you knocked it out of the ballpark. You showed up and you played, and I certainly take nothing away from the amazing season that you all had and what you did last night. So I say bravo to everybody who's a part of the Atlanta Falcons organization. Now, if you know me well, I am not a football junkie. Okay, my husband is, and I do know the game from yesteryears when I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but it's definitely not my passion until this season, and not my passion for watching Super Bowl until this season. And it was simply because of what it represented for the Patriots and just New England as a whole, right? But let's talk about the game last night, because it was so on point and specific to what it is that we do. That wasn't just a lesson in football. That was a lesson in success. And if you were at our January Jumpstart, or if you're not local to me, the one thing that I have been talking about, my mantra since January 1st, is that nothing matters less than the score at halftime. And we truly lived that mantra last night. Football is a game of energy, it's a game of emotion, and it's a game of attitude. But see, that's not just about football. That's also about success in what we do in Mary Kay. And despite the score, despite what was happening, the Patriots were willing to pivot and adjust and to continue to compete and finish what they had started. And you know what, you guys, to do that, it takes mental toughness. And it takes the ability to recognize the power of momentum and capitalize on it. And it was, last night for the Patriots, it was the same vision the entire game. It was the same language the entire game. There was no yelling or anything in the huddles or in the locker room at halftime, because that's just not how Bill Belichick or Tom Brady operate, right? It was all about tweaking and adjusting. It was about believing and finishing what they came out there to do. And that was to compete, and it was to win, and it was to not back down and to not quit. And I share that with you because I think if you look at your business, no matter where you are, whether you're a new consultant trying to get your footing, whether you're a consultant who's moving into Red Jacket, whether you're a consultant who's moving into DIQ and On Target Car, whether you're a consultant who's moving through DIQ or On Target Car, whether you're a DIQ who's wrapping it up, whether you're a new director, whether you're a seasoned director, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're a national sales director, okay? What's coming against you in your business or your life right now? What is it that is causing you to think maybe this is impossible to accomplish this month, or by career conference, or by seminar, or what is it that's coming against you? Because you know what? We all have things. We all have stuff. I always say the greatest accomplishments in my life have happened when I've had the most stuff, because it's how I view my stuff. And we all got stuff, right? We all have it, okay? I implore you to live like the Patriots did last night. I implore you to live like the Patriots did last night, and not give an inch to doubt, to not back down, to not quit, and to dare to believe for what is possible. The Patriots never thought the win was out of reach, despite how ugly it was last night. They, despite the scoreboard, never, ever thought the win was out of reach, despite how ugly it was. They stayed focused on the win. And that takes mental toughness. And you know what I love most about the Patriots is that they have built an organization with the majority of guys who, they're good athletes, but they're not necessarily the best of the best. You know what? Because some of them even came from other NFL teams who released them, and the Patriots picked them up. But you know what they developed together is they have heart, and they have grit, and they have the will to win, and they create esprit de corps within the team. And so no matter where you are you willing to have grit? Are you willing to have heart? Are you willing to win and compete no matter what the scoreboard says? To not quit, to not doubt, and to just keep competing. You guys, the mark of a champion is that you get up off the ground and you win because you fight for it. Nobody said Mary Kay was always going to be easy. I believe it's simple. But want to know what I think is hard? I think life is hard. I think life is hard and Mary Kay is easy. Like, I really believe that. I believe that. I believe that after having spent 20 years climbing the corporate ladder. I believe that with every ounce of my being and fiber. You guys, it is so easy when the going gets tough to lay down on the ground and to stay there or to get back up. It's so easy to lay down on the ground and just, sit up on the ground. But it's another thing to get up off that ground, to stand on those 2 feet that God gave you with your hands on your hips, looking yourself straight in the mirror and pointing to yourself in that mirror and saying, this is not how my story will end. This is not how my story will end. You guys, it is halftime in our seminar year. Whatever adjustments you need to make this month, right now, today, get up and fight for your dreams and for your vision. But see, in order to do that, you have to compete. You have to compete. And so it takes competing every day. It doesn't mean all day. We all have other things that we have to do in our lives, whether it's kids or jobs or 3 jobs or what have you. But it's seeing a great enough vision and knowing in your heart of hearts that you are willing to compete every day, every week, every month in order to step into that dream and that vision that you have. In the middle of the game last night, my good friend, National Sales Director Leah Carta, and her husband, Cody, they know that my husband's a diehard Patriots fan. And they know that. And so they have their 4-year-old son, Lincoln, call us just before halftime when it was just ugly, right? It was ugly. And they called and they were saying, how sorry that they were, kind of in a fun way, asking, had Lincoln get on the phone with Ian and say, or ask if he was okay. And Ian's like, I'm good, buddy. It's good. And it's not over. And I, for one, couldn't wait for halftime to come, because what I know is that nothing matters less than the score at halftime. And so it was funny, given what happened and transpired, that, Leah acknowledged today in talking that, along the journey of Mary Kay, you're going to have people who poke fun at what it is you're doing, in the sense that you're spending this time, you're thinking these big thoughts, you have these great visions and dreams for what your Mary Kay business is going to do, but they're looking at the reality and they're not living in your vision. And see, we have to work in our reality and live in our vision. Last night, you guys, the Patriots, they worked in their reality, as ugly as it was, but they were living in the vision. They showed up. That vision never wavered. They just kept competing. And see, you know what? The devil is so good, because it's in those moments when it looks really ugly that the ordinary person backs down. But see, it's in those moments when it looks really ugly that the champions engaged mental toughness and they finish what they started. And so as you begin pace setters and you have your goals for February, whatever it is for you, whatever it is along the way to the ultimate goal on February 28th, I encourage you, take out that mental toughness because we're just getting started. I will see you later tonight.